back to this very dynamic episode of the Newsmakers, the show where we bring to you the successful stories of people from all walks of life. Because at Newsmakers, we aspire to inspire you. My dear friends, I'm Simran, your host for this entire series. And I'm so honored to bring to you such people from all walks who are doing commendable in the society. On today's episode, we have a voracious reader, a renowned author, and a mentor to many. And he's also been going and giving his motivational speeches and changing life of many. We have with us the group CEO of Zota Healthcare and a very, very famous brand called Dava India. We have Dr. Sujit Paul on the sets of Newsmakers. Please allow me to welcome. Hi, sir. Such an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Simran, for getting me out here.
Such a pleasure to have a person like you. And, sir, now that I've been really looking at your journey behind, I know that you absolutely healed a lot of people on national and international platforms. You are doing commendable, but I'm sure there is a journey behind you. Reaching to this level is, of course, not that easy. We would want our viewers to know your inspirational journey.
Oh, yes. I think it's been a long journey for me. I still recollect the younger days, when I started my journey. I think a very, very strong facet that I would like to put forward is that I was very thoughtful from the onset of my earlier days, and I kind of charted my life well. I'm not saying that everything went off the way how I charted, but that's how life starts for all of us. But the biggest thing that I've always felt is that whatever I did with complete passion. And I always believed that, I can do much more. I've always kept very, very high aspirations for myself, and I've always kept challenging myself. So I think that have been a great story for me. Of course, I had my roller coasters like anyone else would be having it. But yes, every time that I fell down, I kind of shrugged myself and got up. But by the grace of God, by all the hard work and support of my true friends and families, I think, and with all blessings, I'm here where I am at this point of time.
Wow, this is so wonderful. And then, my dear viewers, did you just notice that how such a renowned person, such an accomplished person also has his journey of struggles and falling and again getting up. So, Dava India is doing wonderfully well. We are so looking up to this organization where the unique thing about you is that the medicines, because the times are such that people are falling sick and, Dava India has medicines at a very affordable price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And how is it possible? How did you manage that?
I think the foremost thing is that it's a very, very strong perspective that, people need to understand that high quality generic medicines are really, really good. And we do have very high quality, affordable generic medicines where across the therapeutic segments, right from peds, gynae, cardiac, ortho, and all the relevant segments we do have. So that's a big thing that we are driving on across the country to ensure that common people can actually afford good medicines, and it really does not pain their pockets.
Wow, I mean, this is the need of the hour because, at the times that we also need to stay healthy, affording, medicines is one thing. And thank you for making it so easy for us. Now, Dr. Paul, that I know that you are heading an organization and not just one, you are a serial entrepreneur. And with that, I would like to know, this is a very, very important question for me because I also work with an organization. How do you manage to have that culture in your organization, that the kind of culture, because we are in such a place that we have to have that positive culture. How do you drive your people?
Well, in this organization and many others, where I have led my journey, I've always believed that we need to foster a very strong value-based organization. And I'm always a believer, even at this point of time that I run organization, that right from top to bottom, we need to ensure that every single person who is working with me have understood the essence of being part of the organization. So the intercultural matrix and the dynamics of the organization is what every single day we try to, inject into people. We try to inject scenarios to ensure that people understand the mission for which they are working in the organization. It's not only the financial numbers. Financial numbers can be the derivative output of the good work that you're doing. But mind you, value-based organization creation and cultural matrix creation is a very long-term and very painful activity. And it does take time. There's no shortcut for that. Whether you do it at your home, in the country, in the organization, it does take time, it takes commitment, and it takes passion and belief. So only if you believe in that, then only you can percolate the thing to your people and then ensure that people believe in that. And then it gets percolated to the end consumer. And that's where a revolution starts for a value-based economics in the organization.
That is so superb. That all that I've noticed here that you've been a very passionate person, and the kind of passion that you're instilling into your organization, I'm sure it's quite, people are able to see that. And what an amazing boss to have. I'm sure the organization must be so happy to have you. And Dr. Paul, and my dear viewers, this is a very, very important question and a very, very close to my heart question. And I have started talking to you before I, go on to Dr. Saab and ask him that, now you also sit back and think that the women of our society, we all have women in the house. Still at this point of time in life, we still have this kind of a stigma where when a woman has to go buy a sanitary pad, she has to be, very quiet. She has to very quietly say. And when she goes to a medicine shop, the things are packed in the black poly bags and, there's a stigma still going on. Dr. Paul, this has been a very, very hard-hitting thing. Women, they are the integral part of the society. They are the fairer group. But still, this kind of a stigma which is going on, I really want to know that I know Dava India is doing a lot for women healthcare. Please tell us about that.
Absolutely. I think we always work on a larger holistic mission, as what I was explaining to you. It's not only the financial numbers that goes through. We have rolled out a beautiful project for the deep villages of India called Vision Sanjeevani, where we will ensure that the last mile villagers do get affordable medicines. Now, along with the project of Sanjeevani, there's an amazing story that we have built up called #change. For all our communications, you will find going forward for the remote rural of #change coming ahead, which is nothing but to work very closely with these women who maybe cannot even afford a sanitary napkin, who gets into huge infections at certain point of time because they cannot afford a good sanitary pad. So there is an education system that has been rolled out in along with Project Sanjeevani, along with a huge plethora of activity that we are working with the women. I feel that it's important that at the domestic level, at the house level, and at every single stage, we need to support these women who really need good hygiene practices. It is not that they don't know. They know, but they cannot afford. They know that but they are not allowed to because of the pecuniary conditions that they are staying at this point of time in the villages. And there is where #change comes. It's a big program. We are rolling it out, and it have been rolled out successfully in some parts of the country. Each of our team are poised towards the same, and we believe that this will be a revolution towards giving a healthier woman for tomorrow in rural villages.
What a commendable work you're doing. My dear viewers, #change. Please make it a part of your life. We all have to make it a big success because it's about the women of our society. Not just here in the rural world where the women are underprivileged, cannot take good care of their health. It is important. #change has to be the way it should become lifestyle for all of us because we have to care for the women of our home as well. I am so glad that I'm meeting you, sir, getting to know so much. But the inspiring people who are the youth of our world, they are also watching you right now. And I'm sure this dynamic interview is going to change lives of many. But one advice from you is really needed for us to change now.
Absolutely, Simran. Thank you for this question. It is a very common question. And what I have been preaching and practicing and mostly believing in this is that whosoever young entrepreneurs that you are seeing this and who wants to really come into a business scenario, first ensure that you build value to the business. Build such amount of value that this value will drive numbers, this value will drive profitability for you. and not the other way around. Moment you get into a dynamics of only numbers, turnover and profitability and not value, that will not really yield towards what it should yield to become a good entrepreneur. A good entrepreneur, small, medium and big and large, should only drive the ecosystem through a true sense of wow products, wow service, but only through a value that would change humanity. It's your and my responsibility to ensure that we build a better society for tomorrow. And once you and me agree on that, then trust in me, it's not too far off that we become the superpower of the world.
Superb having you here, sir. And you've really instilled in me, Zot, that we have to work upon our value systems because we would want to become the generation of our country. And thank you so very much, Dr. Paul, for being here. We are once again honored, and my thanking is not just being stopping here. So my dear viewers, how was the interview? I'm sure it rocked you today because at Newsmakers, we always have such rocking people who are giving you such piece of advices which are changing lives. I have come across people who have really told us that people at Newsmakers have changed lives, and we are so fortunate to bring such personalities on our platforms.